Chapter 66, Sect Big Competition. Greetings, senior brother. After concluding his morning cultivation, Han Yi roamed about Pure Yang Peak, frequently greeted with respectful salutations from the outer sect disciples around him. He simply returned their greetings with a friendly nod, as if he had gotten used to it. After 5 months, the challenges from the disgruntled individuals had died down, and the position and respect for him as senior brother had become increasingly stable with fewer criticisms. Indeed, in the world of cultivation, strength is everything. Only when you are strong will others respect you, and the weak can only be oppressed. The sect's big competition was drawing near. As the senior disciple of the outer sect, his senior sister Shen Yuxiang had entrusted him with a task that he naturally could not neglect. As Han Yi walked, the heavenly, earthly, spiritual high around him spontaneously surged towards him at a high affinity level. He could feel the true ki transformed in his Danshin, carrying strands of violent electric aura. The effect of the Thunder Spirit root exceeded Han Yi's expectations. This was just the newly metamorphosed Thunder Spirit root, yet its ability to attract and transform spiritual ki was already so strong. The mutant spiritual root really lived up to its reputation. Compared to the Sunflower Water Spirit root, it was clear that the mutated Thunder Spirit root was more suitable for him. Previously, when he had the Sunflower Water Spirit root, the presence of the other 3 spirit roots was very weak. And they even seemed somewhat mutually exclusive, because spirit roots are judged by their purity. The purer they are, the better the aptitude and the stronger their presence. The Thunder Spirit root was formed by the fusion of 2 pure spirit roots. Not only did it fit him better, but it also allowed him to unleash greater strength. Transitioning successfully from triple spirit roots to a single spirit root, Han Yi was quite exhilarated. The foundation establishment stage is assessed based on the aptitude of the spirit root. Now with the Thunder Spirit root, his path before Golden Core would be smooth, and his cultivation speed would only get faster. Senior sister, I'm here. Han Yi knocked on the door of the cave mansion, looking at the luxuriant branches and leaves and the verdant mountain filled with spiritual ki. Unspeakable envy filled him. Each direct disciple was allocated a cave mansion. The cave mansions naturally formed from blessed lands, abundant with spiritual ki, much like having an inbuilt spirit gathering formation. The speed of cultivators who seclude themselves within the cave mansions for cultivation is much faster than that of ordinary disciples. This was a privilege that disciples of the inner and outer sect did not enjoy. Shen Yuxiang quickly opened the door. Upon seeing Han Yi, she dispensed with pleasantries and said directly, "The sect's big competition will take place in a few days. This time, the competition is divided into the inner and outer sects. You, as the representative of the outer sect disciples, will lead them. You need to inform them to go to the Ascending Immortal platform to participate in the big competition." "I'm leading? What about senior sister?" Han Yi asked in puzzlement. Shen Yuxiang tucked a strand of hair behind her ear and said softly, "I have business that requires me to leave the sect for a few days. I won't be present for this big competition. The inner sect has also chosen someone to take charge. In fact, not just me, but most of the direct disciples will be leaving too. So you must do your best, as I won't be there to watch over you." Han Yi looked startled. "So there's no one left to hold fort at Pure Yang Peak?" "No, Pei Likong will temporarily handle the affairs of Pure Yang Peak. He will be there to oversee the competition. However, he's not easy to get along with, so be careful. Just prepare well for the big competition." Pei Likong, a frown furrowed Han Yi's brows. He didn't know much about this individual. Senior sister Shen explained, "Pei Likong, a true inheritance disciple who stood out from Pure Yang Peak 10 years ago. He's a nascent soul cultivator and currently resides in Likong Peak. You have not seen him, which is quite normal, as Pei Likong has been temporarily handling the affairs of Pure Yang Peak for a while. He is unquestionably competent, as long as you don't make any mistakes." Han Yi detected that something was amiss. Something must have happened outside the sect. Otherwise, his master wouldn't have been absent from Pure Yang Peak for several months. Now, even his senior sister was going out as well. "I understand. I will lead them to the big competition." Han Yi nodded and agreed to take care of the matter. Shen Yuxiang showed a bright, encouraging smile. Junior brother Han, give it your all. Stake a claim for pure Yang Peak. If you manage to secure a good rank, both Master and I will be very pleased. Here's the deal, if you get within the top 3, I will give you a treasure when I return. Okay, it's settled. Han Yi nodded firmly. Soon a few days passed and the day of the Sect's big competition finally arrived. Hundreds of Outer Sect disciples gathered together, looking up at the tall youth on the stage with respect. Han Yi stood in front of the Great Hall, overlooking hundreds of Outer Sect disciples. His eyes bright. Today is the Sect's big competition. Under the order of our master, I, Han Yi, must uphold the prestige of pure Yang Peak and secure a good rank. This competition bears on the dispute over resource allocation for everyone's yearly cultivation. I hope everyone will put forth every effort. The Outer Sect disciples below, their fighting spirits ignited, raised their arms and shouted, Pure Yang Peak! Pure Yang Peak! Pure Yang Peak! Hanya swept his eyes over everyone and declared, Let's move out! The disciples below all took out their jade tokens and summoned their immortal cranes, heading towards the ascending immortal platform. At the same time, on the other side of Pure Yang Peak, a large group of immortal cranes also took to the sky, led by a man in a green robe. The man was obviously the team leader of the Inner Sect. A crane rushed from the side and positioned itself to Han Yi's right. It was Lin Shihuan, who asked with a smile on his face, Brother Han, how are your preparations for the big competition? Not bad, Han Yi modestly replied. He now had cultivated the supreme limitless skill and Hanshin 5 Elements Gang, 1 method and 1 divine power. Though he couldn't say he had mastered them completely, he definitely had a basic understanding of them. He had completely mastered the 5 Elements Gang key, with the Fire Gang being the most solid. He had also specifically learned a skill called Purple U Thunderblade from the book collection pavilion. Since magic treasures and talisman inscriptions could be used in the big competition. After all, there were disciples in the sect who specialized in artifact refining and talisman making. If they didn't use magic treasures, wouldn't that waste their abilities? Winning or losing depended entirely on one's own abilities. However, strangely enough, he hadn't seen Chu Shanyu these few times he went to the book collection pavilion. He didn't know what she had been doing these past months. From the side, Wang Daniu also came over and sighed, Brother Han will definitely not have any problems. He has been in the river realm for a long time already. I'm just not good enough. I'm only in the pool realm now. Moreover, I do not possess any magic treasure. Barehandedly, I am definitely not a match for disciples armed with magic treasures. Lin Shihuang nodded in agreement. Magic treasures indeed pose a problem. Although I've broken through to the river realm without a magic treasure, I guess my combat ability will be inferior to that of the disciples with magic treasures. Ordinary Outer Sect disciples can't afford magic treasures. Most of them should be in the same situation as us. Han Yi comforted, Don't worry, I have them. I can lend them to you when the time comes. If they don't suit you, you can also rent one from Tianhuo Peak. Tianhuo Peak mainly refines artifacts and has a lot of magic treasures, but the spirit stones won't come cheap. Lin Shihuang hesitated, with the time being so close, even if there were many magic treasures, they would all have been rented out, right? Nearing the sect's big competition, many disciples would be participating. Therefore, renting magic treasures became the best choice for many disciples. We're here. Han Yi glanced at the huge bluestone platform that unfolded before them and whispered,